So in lesson 1.2 here, we're going to ask the question, what are microgreens? And if you've gotten this far, I think you've probably got a pretty good idea of what microgreens actually are. But I think it's important to take a look at some of the characteristics of a microgreen, and so we understand some of the stuff that defines them. So microgreens are soil or other medium-grown crops, and there's a few characteristics that are very important. So one is they're grown vertically on a rooting medium, which means they generally grow upwards. This we can contrast with sprouts, which will grow in all directions in a water or moist environment. They're usually harvested before the true leaf stage, or usually when maybe one set of true leaves is formed. So the true leaves are the ones, so with a crop like sunflower, the seed itself becomes the first two leaves, and those are the cotyledons, and then the next set of leaves would be your true leaves. Now in sunflower, we never take it to the true leaf stage, but with pea we do. So it's just differences there. They're grown on very short cycles, anywhere from 6 to 20 days. We're usually looking at crops that grow in the 10 to 12 day cycle. A really important characteristic, which is one of the key things that separates microgreens from sprouts, is that the roots are separated from the stems when they're harvested. So that's a big distinction, because with a sprout you eat the root portion as well as the stem portion. Most microgreens require light at some stage, even though there definitely are some exceptions. And as a general rule, they have a pretty high nutritional value. So it's a very appealing crop to people who want to have a healthy lifestyle, and that's often a big market for microgreens, is people who are looking for the nutritious aspect. In Canada, microgreens are viewed as sprouts, which is a high-risk food product, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later, because that's something that really varies from country to country and municipality to municipality. So here's a shot of some sunflower shoots, and the reason I'm giving you this shot is to take a look at some of the things here. So we can see clearly the stem ends at the soil and rises up, and you've got the leaves up top. So you can see when we do cut it near the soil surface there, which is just going to be right along the bottom here, that we're going to be completely severing the stem from the roots. Now here, these two leaves here, so we've got this one here and this one here. So these are the seed leaves, or the cotyledons, and those are literally the seed. It's the seed that comes up out of the soil on the end of the stem. And you'll often see, and you can't see in this picture, a little bit like the hulls up here, because they come up with the seed. So these are what we call the seed leaves here. These leaves coming in the middle here, these are the true leaves. And this is an indicator of the maturity of your crop. And with sunflower, we rarely want a true leaf even that big. You can see they're quite big in here. So yeah, you're gonna learn as you work with your crops what the characteristics of them are and what their growth cycle is like. So there's a look at sunflower, a very popular microgreens crop, and we'll get into some more details on microgreens in the next sections.